Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, now to finally some good news on those devastating wildfires in France. Firefighters now appear to have turned a corner, and thousands of people are now being allowed to return home. But entire neighborhoods have been reduced to ashes. Ramy Inocencio is on the front lines for us. Ramy, good morning.
Good morning. We are in Bordeaux's world-famous wine region, and just hours ago, an evacuation order was lifted, and that means tens of thousands of people can now go back home. But while France's biggest wildfire is still burning just about 10 miles west of us here, it is not out.
Firefighters attacked 7 new blazes that sprang up Wednesday. This morning, 3 are still raging. An area 4 times larger than Paris, now scorched.
This is the most devastated, most burned town in this catastrophe. This is the commune of La Porge. An inferno ripped through this community of about 3,500 people with high winds and flames. Now most of the homes have been demolished, reduced to rubble, and most of its people are gone.
Shalom, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It is good to be here. Great glory to the Mighty One. Yes, indeed. Today is, at least for me, the day, July 30th, 2026. And it's currently 7:43 p.m. Eastern Time, pre-recorded. Beloved, what we are witnessing here is for the others unusual. It is shocking, it is news, but for us, it is normal. It is the usual casual, if I may say so myself. Now, this is France. This is not California, beloved. When you're watching this, if somebody in the U.S. see something like this, a destruction like that, they would say, oh, that's California. That's because that's where it usually happens. Or that's some town over there in California, South LA or South Cal or North California. It's over there. However, this is in Europe and France. The heat over there is not what they are saying it is. The heat is not even recording. Let me see. Is that what that is? All right. It's recording. All right. The heat they have over there in France is unbearable. Though they do not have AC as the way that we have AC in the US, especially and South Florida, where pretty much everywhere you have to go, you must carry somewhat a sweater with you. Though it's the summer, it's hot as hell out there, but the moment you get inside a business or a place, it's frigid cold. So you have to carry a sweater with you. That's the thing with the Florida, at least South Florida. Beloved, this is prophecies in the midst of 83. This is prophecies, and this video tabs, beloved, we're going to discover all the things that we talk about. Be forewarned, this is going to be a 2-hour video. So buckle up. We're going to go into the fires, the flood, the tornadoes, and the earthquake. I'm not quite sure if we will have time for the earthquake because I do not, old girl cannot hold that much tab. I can only put the fire, water, hurricane, excuse me, I retract hurricane. I meant to say tornado, and the earthquake, I leave it out because I think I will do it if we have time. If we have space, and time for this. Those are the 4 elements: fire, water, air, and earth. Fire, the wildfires. Water, the floods. Air, the tornadoes. Earth, the earthquakes. Do you get it? Do you see how the angels are communicating? How the Holy One is clearing the lands? Well, not the land. The Holy One is clearing the earth. This is in France, beloved. Or France. However you want to say it. This is in a rural area of France. At least that's from my understanding. Let's keep on moving, beloved, okay? All right, just give me a 1 in the chart play or comment board to see if you hear me, understand me, and know that it's the 4 element. Please, beloved, type the 4 element in there. Type it in order that they came out of the Akashic principle. Fire, water, air, and earth is the last element that came out. And within the earth, there is all 3 elements. Let's keep on moving.
High winds and flames. Now most of the homes have been demolished, reduced to rubble, and most of its people are gone.
And higher still, satellite images show the first fires hitting the town, billowing and smothering it a few days later. This devastation, what every other town nearby is working to avoid. Like Lacanau, just a few miles down the road. Locals are stepping up to spray every little fire while firefighters battle the biggest blazes. Neil Seville is usually a surf instructor.
And the ground is smoking too.
Yeah, the ground is smoking because fires go everywhere.
Is it underground too?
Underground, sometimes like 1 meter underground.
And guess what, beloved? They said here, the fire in France, Spain, and the other European countries, it could be said to stay there for months. In my opinion, years. Because there's a fire in Siberia that started years ago. It never went out. It was somewhere around 2019, 2020 when we were doing our videos in the beginning. This thing never went away. It's still there. Because the fire is burning above, so below. Yet people want to sit there and have discussion about how Jesus is going to save them. If you believe in him, everything's going to be all right. The same old, same old. Garbage in, garbage out. Let's keep on moving.
Fires 3 feet below us. They've all been here since last week, not giving up.
When do you sleep?
We take some short pause. Yeah, like 3 hours, 4 hours.
You must be super tired.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's for all the village, all the community, all those guys. I've seen them growing up, and well, it's like a brotherhood, you know. It's cool.
So now again, beloved, some of the people might say, okay, well, this happened like ages ago, last year. No, this is July 30th. At least this is the day that they reported to us. Okay, entire neighborhoods have been reduced to ash amid the devastating wildfires in France, while thousands of people are being allowed to return to their homes. What homes? Nearly 80,000 people across southern France are still displaced, Rami Inocencio reports. Come back to their own. The whole town is razed to the ground. There's nothing left. Well, there's ash and dust and other things remaining from the incendiary, but there's no home left here. This thing is burning above and underground. People think that 3-Eye Atlas is gone because people don't talk about it. Well, what do you think is causing these things? People think when we activate the ley line, we are playing. What do you think is causing those things? Yea, ever since, beloved, we put a pedal or the pedal to the metal, things being accelerated. I really do not have the time, beloved, to do the videos every day. I'm working on something right now. Some of you are aware of it. It's taking a majority of my time. I am not available as I used to be. But when I'm done with this thing, most likely, probably will make a video every day like we used to in 2020. This is only going to get worse. Let's move to the next video. Okay, this is about the cars, the homes and everything, houses over here. And look, there's a boat there. Not a single speck or particle of fire touched that boat. See that white boat over there? Give me a one if you can see it. Look at this, beloved. Look at the cars. So those people didn't have the time to take the cars out. I am assuming both cars are disabled. I'm just assuming, but they could be perfectly working cars, but they didn't have the time. And people are sitting there and saying the Holy One is not working. People are saying that, well, the angels are not sending the message. This is Esau's trouble. I don't care what somebody's out there is saying. I don't care who's out there saying, oh, well, we got to get ready for Jacob's trouble. Oh, really? Oh, well, this thing happened over there. The drowning and stuff. Jacob's trouble about to happen. Yeah, that's like the first time this thing ever happened. But this, beloved, I can say in my entire 37 years being on this earth, this is the first time I'm seeing something like that in France. Yea, in California, indeed. Oregon, yes. Oklahoma, or states that are prone to wildfires. Yo, son, we have a wildfire in Canada that is so bad. It caused people in New York and the East Coast to get sick. And this thing is going all the way in the West Coast of Canada. The wildfire was and is so bad that Trump, Sir Trump, at least the president that they are showing to us out there, put a tariff on Canada because of this fire. Let me double check so we have true facts here. I do not want to say things and stuff like that. Let us check Chat GPT and see what's going on here. All right then. Good. Recently, there was a wildfire in Canada, and Mr. President Trump had put a tariff on Canada because of the wildfire. He mentioned that they were incompetent and they did not do enough to stop the wildfire. Can you check sources and make sure this is actually true? Go ahead.
Checking.
Okay.
Right. I checked. I don't see anything to back that up. What did happen was that Trump blamed Canada for wildfire smoke drifting into the US around mid-July, and he threatened tariffs in that context. However, when the White House actually announced new 50% tariffs on some Canadian goods a few days later, the official reason given was trade discrimination, not the fires. So, does the claim that tariffs were imposed because of the wildfires is supported by the record? He talked tough on smoke, yes, but...
Okay, all right. Well, I retract that. I was watching the news where the fellow, maybe he was hyping. I retract that Trump put the tariff over there on them for the fire. But Trump was pretty pissed off. Trump was pissed off because of the whole fire. You know, Trump loved New York, Trump Tower, and all the other stuff over there, and certain folders that have a certain file in there. Maybe they are PDF, maybe they are Word document, maybe they are Google Docs. I don't know. Maybe they are on paper, images, JPEG, PNG, videos. But there are some files in there, and then Sir Trump is not sitting too well with that. But nonetheless, this is in France, and the wildfires is worldwide, okay? It's everywhere, all right? They're just not reporting it, but it is everywhere. Let's keep on moving. All right, so look at this. Okay, and then again, another irony. Is that a pool right there? This seems like a pool. Yes, it is a pool because you can see the pool chair and everything. The house that the pool is in front is burned to the ground. It's burnt to the ground. I'm assuming this is another pool too. And when people are returning to their house, returning to that, to what? What is this? Maybe that over here, this over there, that over there. But those, no. I'm going to let it go a little bit. Right. Whoops. Ay. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Oh. All right. I'm stopping it right here. Look at this area, beloved. This is acres of land. Scorched, dark. What did they have over there? This is all gone. What is this over here on the horizon? Dark. Gone. And people are sitting and say, well, you know what? I want to argue about like how Paul said we're going to be saved. Paul said that. Paul said this. And the epistles, I don't know why people even use the epistles for. Epistles just literally mean letters. You know, Paul was beefing with others, Peter's and all the other apostles. They were beefing. They were just like we're arguing. They were arguing with each other. And Paul even warned you. He said certain things that I'm saying here that has nothing to do with my work. It's just personal things I'm saying personally to this personal dude. We're beefing. You know, we knocking each other teeth out. So that's what's going on back then. And then people take those things and say, Paul said and stuff. You know, people would say anything to win an argument. You know, Paul said a lot of stuff to win the argument. Peter said a lot of stuff. The other apostles said a lot of stuff. But, you know, it's not factual. It's pretty good for the land. You know, the land will be fertile. You know, after Numbers 35:33 fulfilled it. And then the fire usually, it rejuvenated, renewed the land, because those folks, they never give the land a proper rest. It is said in the good book, after 7 years, everything should rest. People, the land, the animal, and stuff. When the righteous in power, you work for 7 years, and after 7 years, there is 1 year, you just don't do any work. You just rest. You travel, you go around, you do things, you don't work. All the companies were supposed to, that is, if they were following the good law of the Mighty One, all companies on earth, especially here in the US, supposed to have you working every 7 years, and at the end of the 6 years, they double your income. So on the I'll retract that 7. On the 8th year, you just sit home and all your bills are taken care of, and you come back to work the following year. But no, this isn't what those people do. They just literally destroy pretty much everything. You know, the land never rests, the people never rest. That's why the mental illness is all over the place. Sleep is a very big deal. I personally, when I do not have enough sleep, I make terrible decisions. My blood pressure is very high. My mind doesn't work well. It's foggy. I can't think straight. I go out and make backward decisions. All right, let's keep on moving. Is that something a font 4 or something? Yeah, number 14. All right, so yeah, look at this, man. Look at the cars. Okay, look at the home nation of the cities, plague number 2 of the apocalypse of Abraham. And let me see how long we are into this thing. Okay, let's keep on moving.
Welcome back, and great to have you on WKYT. Major wildfires that sparked out in the Pacific Northwest grew to over 200,000 acres over the weekend, with strong winds picking up the flames and then spreading all that smoke across the forests in central Oregon.
And now that smoke is making its way east. Our First Alert meteorologist Ashton Stanley explaining how that smoke was able to travel all the way to our area from so far away.
Recent wildfires in Oregon have impacted much more than just the Pacific Northwest. Smoke has traveled all the way to the Ohio Valley, carried across the country by the jet stream. When wildfires burn dry grass and dead leaves, they produce tiny smoke particles that can easily be lifted into the atmosphere. That smoke can cloud the sky for hundreds of miles as it travels, but its impact on air quality can vary. The Air Quality Index, or AQI, measures the amount of potentially hazardous material in the air, usually smoke and smog. The scale ranges from green, which is good, to purple, which is very unhealthy.
And then it's all purple, baby, okay? Let's keep on moving. There are a lot of particles in the air, and if you breathe them, to our beloved out there, we urge you to be careful. I personally have an air filter in my room, and I go to sleep with this thing, the humming. I got it right here. Let me turn it on. There we go. I got this thing here at night, turning it on. This is more like a substitute for my phone. I like listening to the white noise going to sleep, sometime a TV show. I do that sometimes, but not all the time. So I use this air conditioning. I retract air conditioning. I meant to say air purifier, Honeywell. This brand is very good. I had it since 2021. It's been working like a beast for 5 years, cleaning the room, and it's amazing, beloved. The dirt and the dust, the particles that is caught in this filter. The filter is changed every year, but they have a little film, some kind of filter film, pre-filter in front of it. I change it every 6 months. So I highly recommend that you get some kind of air filter for room filtration, at least one that can clear a room, and put it in your room when you go to sleep, and they can filter those things. Especially me, I have sleep apnea. Some of you are well aware of that. It used to be very bad still, but not as bad as it was in 2021. So I'm getting some sleep, but the area that I'm staying at, of course, it's paved and nice over there in Fort-Lauderdale, but at night when I'm going to sleep, I turn on this thing, it filters stuff. And I will advise my beloved out there, if you're a smoker, please, your lungs is begging you, your heart is crying unto you. Listen to them. Listen to your liver. Listen to your brain. You do know when you smoke or you eat, this thing literally go into your spinal fluid, and the spinal fluid is the thing that hold your brain and make your brain weightless. Your spinal fluid flow through your 33 vertebrae, your kundalini, and if the smoke that you are inhaling does not have a purpose in it, it can cause quite a few destruction. Certain of those damages can go far beyond things that it can do to your lungs. You see, the lung can recover from smoking, but the brain, the spinal fluid, you need to purge that. Is that what that is? Let us double check. Okay, I'm not gonna use ChatGPT. I'm gonna use Grok, because ChatGPT today, I don't know what she's doing. Can the lungs recover from smoking? And if so, how long? From light smoking and heavy smoking?
Yes, lungs Celias start recovering within days or weeks, and lung function can improve over months. Heavy smokers may see partial recovery over years, but some damage can be permanent.
How long you say within days or weeks if the person is a smoker, or how long he or she could start seeing results?
For a smoker who quits, ciliary recovery often starts within a few days to a couple of weeks. Many people notice easier breathing and less coughing within weeks to a few months.
Thank you. So, beloved, I urge you to meditate upon that. Not stopping cold turkey. The problem is not the smoke at all. It's not the cigarettes. It's not whatever that you're smoking. This isn't the problem. It never was. The problem is internal. The problem is personal. The problem is this fella you see every morning in the bathroom mirror. The one that takes selfie with your phone all the time. The one that is doom scrolling your phone. That's the issue. You need to talk to this fellow and come to a conclusion. Alright, beloved, let's take another video. And then we're going to take a little break here and drink some of that Holy Spirit stuff. Alright then.
Could have been a lot worse.
Kanosh resident Matt Bell says shifting winds helped put the wide-mouth fire Wednesday back onto itself, and he believes local ranchers and firefighters have almost got this one out.
Okay, here's the thing. You don't almost get a fire out. You either get this thing out or it burns throughout. This isn't, oh, well, you almost got it. Yo, this thing being burned, this is in Utah, right? This thing being burning for, yes, it is in Utah. This thing been burning for months now, okay? This is, conditions improve, but danger still lurks from wide mouth to fire. Kanosh resident Matt Bell believes shifting winds helped put the wide mouth 2 fire back on itself and thinks local ranchers and firefighters almost have it out. Mr. Matt noticed that they were about to put the fire out. They were about to extinguish the fire, but the wind came back and blew it back on. Great glory, all praises to the Most High. Give the Holy One great praise, great glory. This is not the work of men. Yea, there is a wildfire going on over there in Europe. Why don't those people use their CERN to make it rain and stop it and control the weather with up? Why can't they do that? The wind come back and use the blowtorch process. Let's keep on moving.
Today it was really dramatic, a lot of smoke.
Sharing these pictures with us from his home inside the evacuation area, but Matt says he's staying put, being helped by community members.
That's exactly what's happening.
Okay.
We take care of ourselves as best we can in Kanosh.
Yeah, it looks like nothing really is going on right now, but there's still a lot of heat out there and unchecked ground. Once we get this cloud cover off of us and the sun gets on it, it could be a whole different ball game.
Copeland Anderson, fire warden for Millard County, explains the rare fire nados they've seen in this one.
A fire nado happens when we get extreme heat.
Look at this, beloved. Look at this. This thing looks like some kind of giant anaconda snake, like dragon, slithering in the heaven. Let's just enlarge this. Look at this.
They've seen in this one.
A fire nado happens when we get extreme heat, just like when a cloud builds, it pulls that heat up and then it's sucking that cold air in, and so you start getting that twist.
This thing wrap around,
happens
man.
when we get extreme heat, just like when a cloud builds, it pulls that heat up and then it's sucking that cold air in.
This is amazing. Oh wow, great glory, man. Give the Holy One a hand, beloved. Give that. I never seen anything like that. This thing looked like some kind of dragon that suck up the air and make things dry. A few years ago, we were making a video, and somebody over there was a wildfire in California, and a person mentioned, well, why don't they have the helicopters flying lower and pick up people, put out the fire? Well, in that case, there weren't no helicopters at all. So one of the persons said, well, then why didn't they send helicopter? And the news anchor had to clarify. He said, well, I had the same question 2 years ago. However, here's the thing. Helicopters actually need air to fly. If there is no air, there is no lift. So the air is so dry, is so hot, that the helicopters are grounded. They cannot vertically take off because there is no air for them to do this. Now, when I see this thing, you know, this is amazing. Wow, this is amazing, man. And then there's all sort of things here. For those of you who are seeing this, of course, Big Levi always see things. I don't know if you can see this. There is a face of a brother here. Let me go ahead and detail this as best as I can. If you can see it, beloved, type that you can see it, or, you know, type I can see it too, because I want to know if people can see this, or if I'm bad-ish crazy. You can see the forehead here. Okay, this is the forehead right there. All right, this is the forehead, and then the nose right here. You can see the nose. Okay, the nose. And then the eye right here, the eyebrow. All right. So, and you can see the huge sideburn, you know, with the beard. And you can see the lip right there. Okay. And you can see the bottom lip right there, and the upper lip right here. And he got full lips. And the beard. Okay. That's the beard right there. And if you follow the beard on the side, and it has a huge afro. Okay, the huge afro go in the back right here. This is the back of the head, and the afro go there. And then this is his neck, and this is his back going right here. At least that's what I'm seeing. You can see the eyes. It look like this is straight up a brother. Okay, this is a brother. From one side, that thing kind of look like me, but I... It looked like one of my albums that I published a while ago. Let me see if I can get the picture of it. Boy, what was the album again? That was 2017. I don't want to type it, but EBON... EBONBLAK, Urban Black album. Oh, all right then. Okay, the AI actually picked me up. Urban Black is an independent hip-hop rap artist and producer who primarily releases music digitally as singles and EPs rather than full-length traditional studio albums. Notable independent release in the artist's catalog include OK Google 2018, my 8th song, Big Urban, Poetic Death, and all right, most track on Spotify. Okay, all right, well, that's good. Okay. It's when I used to wrap that side. There you go. It looked like this picture right here, but flip on this side, on the other side. Well, I'm looking on the right, but the other picture is looking on the left. Okay, maybe this is the ego maniac or egotistical self-centered me, because that's the one thing. Kind of look like that sister too, but when you look at the image, I'm looking on the right side right here. That's on my album back then when I, you know, my huge afro, so my advancing in ages and things are following me and stuff like that. But it looks like he's looking on this side, on the left. Again, let's run it. This is the forehead right there, and the nose right here, eyes. You can see the eyeball is glowing white, and you can see the eyebrow right here. Okay, the side face right there, and the lip right here. All right, and then the beard. Okay, you can see the beard right here, big beard, and the beard has a giant sideburn, which connected to the afro. Still the beard right there, and the back of it, and this is the huge afro. I'm not quite sure if you can see it. I can. Maybe Big Levi is out of his mind as always, but there's a brother over here. Let's keep on moving, beloved. The video at 0.44, the video title is Conditions Improve, but Danger Still Lurks from Wide Mouth to Fire. And it's coming from Fox 13 News, Utah. It happened on July 29, excuse me. I will track 19, I meant to say July 29, 2026. Kanosh resident Matt Bell believes shifting winds help, but the wide mouth tool fire back on itself, and thanks local ranchers and firefighters almost having it out. So for reference, for those of you that want to check it, you can go ahead and do the thing, trace it, and see what's going on. Let's keep on moving. There are plenty of other things here. It seems like there's this other brother right here with this head, and then his back right here, and this is his forearm. He closes, and what is this right here? What is this brother's giving? I don't know. This angel's giving a certain gesture to whoever's looking down upon him. Man, this is poetic right there. Can you guys see the face? This is the face right here, and this is that one finger and that specific mist of the other fingers clamped down, and this finger standing up. And then he's just blacking his nose, his face right there. Look down, that's the forearm right here, and then the finger, and giving that stuff right there. The major finger. Is that what they call it? Major finger? In French, le droit majeur. Okay, well, I didn't say Illinois manager, but anyway, so let me type this right quick. I'm in the dark, I can see here. Le droit majeur. There we go. This fellow, this brother giving you the major finger, the longest one out of the palm, and you can see it right here, right there. There you go. Right then. Okay, let's keep on moving.
We've seen.
Hang on. So, oh boy, I almost, Oh, you know what? Oh boy, it's already 40 minutes in? Good grief. Study to show thyself approved unto the Holy One.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
The Holy Spirit, our Mother herself, is in the midst of our class, teaching, showing, and reasoning with us. Come and study with us. Magic, psychology, technology, economy, art. Download our monthly Word of Power, secret and powerful prayers. Join today as a tier. Student, Gravis, and better yet, Intra Templum. We must not cast our pearls before swine. The link is in the description. Join us today. Great glory! Alright, join our Patreon, man. Study with us. Yeah. All right, know how to activate the ley line. In fact, we are going to release this month of August 3 distinct ways you can activate the ley line at your own discretion. This is the ley lines activation instructions. This video we published January 27, 2024. We have the PDF, which is in there. It should be in there. The PDF is attached to it. You can go ahead. The people are there. You know, they know it. Okay. Right. You can go get it. And Monday, which is going to be August the 3rd, we are going to study we're going to begin with Seneca on the shortness of life. Okay, we study philosophy right now, and you're going to see, beloved, once you start studying the so-called Greek philosophers or woman philosophers, you realize there's nothing woman or Greek about them at all. The wisdom they were talking about is taken out straight from the book of Enoch, the other books and secret books. That's why those dudes will always die, horrible death. There's a reason why Socrates got, his own people accusing him of being a Gentile. They said, you don't worship our God anymore. You messed up the youth. They make him drink poison. Okay? Socrates. Because Socrates was a student. He went and studied from our beloved. He came back teaching his own people. They freaking kill him. All right? When did they kill Socrates? Why and how they kill him?
Socrates was executed in 399 BCE in Athens. He was tried and convicted on charges of impiety, meaning he didn't honor the city's gods, and corrupting the youth with his questioning. A jury of 500 Athenian citizens found him guilty, and he drank poisoned hemlock as his sentence.
So that's what happened to Socrates. And when you start studying those guys, you're like, this couldn't be a Gentiles. If they were Gentiles, where did they get these words? How they had this reflection? When you start studying those people, you realize, God damn, the swagger jack went too deep. That's like straight up. And you realize, wait, this is Brother Paul. This is Peter. Well, this is Yahushua. Why we change the name to Socrates or whatever? This is Enoch. Of course, you realize that Enoch is Hermes Trismegistus, so thrice great. You realize all those things, but you have to study those ancient dudes because they don't teach those guys in school. They just say the ancient Greek did this, the ancient Greek did that. But when you study them, you realize, okay, well, that has nothing to do with you people. If anything, they had curly hair and that's like curly. No, those were half-os. You guys were out there, you do stuff. But anyway, on this August the 3rd, which is going to be Monday, we're going to begin with Seneca on the shortness of life. We're going to study and draw wisdom. We're done with the improvement of the mind. Okay, we studied this book. We did all the stuff. You can join us. Go ahead and watch and learn. And develop yourself, man. Yourself. So before somebody give you this, all right. Let us keep on moving.
This one.
A fire tornado happens when we get extreme heat, just like when a cloud builds, it pulls that heat up and then it's sucking that cold air in. And so you start getting that twist factor going on.
Almost half a dozen were spotted Tuesday, creating unpredictable firefighting conditions.
But we're doing everything that we can to make sure that this stay safe.
Captain Patrick Bennett from the Millard County Sheriff's Office says community members have come together to help out, especially local ranchers who say some of them have lost livestock in this fire.
We are concerned about some of the weather that's coming this afternoon, potentially some higher winds and some more lightning.
Large air tankers dropping retardant on the hillside, and everybody here says they're grateful this fire, which sparked Monday by lightning and grew to nearly 6,000 acres by Wednesday, seems to be getting more subdued for now.
At least so now. Well, this thing is started by lightning. At least that's what they said. But then again, beloved, you see, well, we had brought evidence that there are certain places where they had no lightning at all, yet the fire started. We explained where in the air there are a lot of particles that are so small, spark, and they come from the sun. Then again, this has nothing to do with scientific fact. This is our own finding. We do not need the scientists or the scientific community to come and either approve what we say, validate, or find the truth or evidence on that. This is something we come up with, something we have our own theory, but not a theory, our own facts, so to speak. Everybody have an opinion, just like everybody have, quote unquote, a bottle. And you know what's come out of bottle. All right, here's some of my opinions for the 83 out there that wants to get some of that yellow liquid. So, the sun sending, beaming energy onto the earth. Some of those energy are unseen by human eyes, though if you have certain specific instruments or tools, you can see them. However, there are certain human beings that are far more developed than others. Their brain do not function the typical way a human being brain function. There are certain folks that went to years of grueling exercises with their minds, and they are able to see beyond what we are calling the veil. They can see further, they can see clearer, and they can see right. So what those people notice, at least what they observe, is that there are very small particles, as small as the one that go beyond the Planck length. The Planck length is the length that scientists acknowledge they can't go beyond. When in fact, to us, the Planck length is where it's begin. They have things that are smaller than that go way smaller beyond infinitely on the Planck length. The Planck length is a joke when it comes to the smallness of this. There is a reason the Holy One said, your soul is immortal. It is so small that no fire can burn it, no water can drown it, no hair can dry it, no earth can crush it. That is so small, it is immortal. That's the superpower of human being. We have an immortal soul. We can die and come back all the time, but certain others can't. For instance, a vampire has, quote unquote, a long lifespan, but they can only live for 500 years, even on whatever they say the substance of human essence. At one point they die. The being that live in the element, for instance, the element of water, got the undine, the element of fire has the salamanders, the element of air has the sylph or the fairies, and the element of the earth has the gnomes. They can live very long, some of them 1,000 or 2,000 years more, but eventually they'll die. That's why they envy human. A human being cannot die. The vessel, yea, but the soul, nay. Let's keep on moving. All right, this is still in Europe. I believe this is over there in Spain. No, Turkey. Okay, this is in Turkey. This happened on July 29th. 8 minutes ago when they published it. Chaos in Turkey, forest fire spread in Mugla or Muglia. Not quite sure how to pronounce this. Houses burned, evacuations carried out. So this is in Turkey, all right. This is Said Dikimer, Turkey. Turkey. Is that what that is? Turkey changed their name to Turkey. So no more Thanksgiving stuff.
Forest fires in the Sedikemer and Altanoluk districts of Muğla on the slopes of the Kaz Mountains are being combated from the air and ground. The fire, which started in an agricultural area in the Bayer neighborhood of Muğla, spread to forested areas due to winds. The fire spread rapidly due to the strong winds in the area.
Okay, beloved. So, and then again, this is in Turkey, man. It's worldwide. This thing ain't gonna stop. It's not going to slow down. And this is something you can't avoid. You cannot do anything against this. This is the force of nature. The best thing for you to do is just evacuate as fast and as soon as you can. To stay behind and fight this thing, I would never recommend that.
Following the report, 5 aircraft, 11 helicopters, 40 water tankers, 261 personnel from the General Directorate of Forestry, firefighting teams, and a large number of forest firefighters were deployed to the area.
Oof. Kentucky. And then again, like I mentioned, beloved, okay, this is the technology. The helicopter drops some water and that's it. Very ineffective.
It was reported that several residents living in houses located within the fire zone have been evacuated. Strong winds in the area are reportedly complicating the work, with several houses affected by the blaze and 3 empty houses burned down.
So not only the houses are burning down in France, they are also in Turkey. And the news is not reporting this, and people are not saying, but what is that? Why is this thing is going on like this? Well, it's the reason why, you know what, how long we are, okay, you know what? The reason why this thing is going on the way that it is because of Genesis 15 verse 13. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall serve them 400 years. And, you know, within this 400 years, 1619, 2019 is done. Yo, for those of you that remember, because most people, beloved, in 2020 were distracted. Still this day, they are. Most people are still distracted. They are not paying attention to this. They are paying attention to food prices or gas prices. Oh, life is so hard, man. Things were so good back in 2019 and stuff like that. Things were always high. It's just most people didn't care about it because it was happening to a very specific group of people. In 2020, most of you, I shall say, with confidence that are watching here, were well aware of these things. The fires, the tornadoes, the volcanoes. So which one of you remember the volcano that erupted in La Palma? La Palma, the island of Michael, the island looked like the head of a black man with a long beard. This isn't something that we are doing the first time. Okay, we see those things, we want those things. There was bushcraft beer. Okay, bushcraft bear or bushcraft beer. He was over there in the island of La Palma. He's a German fellow. So he saw this thing. He witnessed it. He said, you know what? This island will never recover, and I'm never going to come back here. And he left. He went back to Germany, I believe. I have not checked him. Somebody check bushcraft beer, see how it's going on. We see the volcano that erupted in Martinique. We see the one in Indonesia. We told the world that this isn't going to be quarantine in that place that you think it is. Or, oh, well, this is in California. It's never going to reach me. I'm in Turkey. This is never going to happen to me. I'm in France. I live in Bordeaux, in a rural area. I'm wealthy. I got all the money in the world. I got all the substances and essence in the world. I have the food, the medical stuff. I have plenty of ammunition and gun and knives and everything. I'm protected. But bad boys, what you gonna do when the wildfire come for you? What is it? Well, you going to shoot it? You going to stab it? You know, you going to yell at it? Call the police on it? Police came. They left. The firefighter came. They die. Okay, this thing it's not going to stop because of the horrible things that you guys did to the children of God, and you denied. The worst thing is, it's not like you didn't do things, you did things. The worst thing is you denied. The worst beyond worse, you point your fingers to a group of people that are not the true one, and you say them over there. When all the behaviors and patterns of those people prove that they have nothing to do with the Holy One, You still sending money, you still give money, you still adore, I shall say in this case, you still worship them. You got your pastors out there. None of them can come out there and say anything about the fires. They can't say anything about the church. They can't say anything about what's going on. The only thing they can say is send me my 10%. That's all. Yeah. It's better begin my hash here, man. I need this hash, man. Send on that tie. They'll give you that rapture, which for a fact it's not going to happen. This is the time for you to bless the true children for your own protection. It's the time for you to bless us. And you know who to bless. And not like, oh, I'm blessing you. Here's $50. Oh, hell no. Oh, no, my good sir. A lot of you will not listen, but some of you will. And the little tiny, minute some of you that help will receive grace and mercy. Let's keep on moving.
The Fethia-Antalya Highway has been closed to traffic. The fire, which spread rapidly due to the winds, is being combated from the air and ground. The Fethia-Antalya Highway was closed to traffic due to the fire and thick smoke blanketing the area.
All right, so then again, that's the technology. Those people do not possess anything like CERN that can actually either cause this fire or put it out. Let's keep on moving to the next video. What do we have here? Ooh, that's
Europe right now facing one of its largest wildfire emergencies in decades, with fast-moving flames forcing hundreds of thousands of people from their homes in France and Spain. Officials say it's the largest mass evacuation in Europe since World War II. Firefighters.
Listen, beloved. Listen to this. Listen to what the lady said, all right?
It's the largest mass evacuation in France and Spain. Officials say it's the largest mass evacuation in Europe since World War II.
Then this is World War III. If the officials over there in Spain and France or wherever this thing is burning down, listen, they told you like this is the biggest evacuation we had since World War II. During World War II in the 1940s, 1942, 1941, 1943, tip to 1945, they didn't have that much people over there in Europe. The population in Europe was not that much. Let's do a little research right here. All right, let's do a little research. During World War II, what was the population of Europe in total, especially France and Spain?
Europe's total population, excluding the Soviet Union, was about 392 million in 1938. France had roughly 41 million people in 1939. Spain's 1940 census recorded about 26 million.
In contrast, how many people that they have right now?
Right now, Europe's total population is about 743 million. France has around 69 million people, and Spain has about 49.7 million.
So, they have about double the population. And they evacuated people that they never evacuated before. This is an eviction. This is World War III. This isn't a light thing, beloved. This isn't something to scoff at. This isn't something we should take and say, hey, the government of France is doing this, the government of Spain is doing that. Or they despise their own people so much so that they burn down their houses, their home, their livelihood. So what? So they can build it better? So the Illuminati did burn all those things so they can build them back better? Not only they're going to build them back, you know how they're going to do this? By eliminating everybody on earth and keep about like 5 million people, which is going to be them and their friends, and they're going to come back and build stuff better. Is that what that is? Is that what people are saying out there? They're going to build robot AI and have the AI build, well, destroy everything that they already built and then build it back. Does that make any sense to you? Does it make sense? This is not Jacob's trouble. Be at peace. Some of you are indeed at peace. I do understand, beloved. There are folks out there that are dealing with heavy stuff. Pray for them. We got Brother Leslie. You pray for the brother. He recently have an operation. He was suffering from stage 1 cancer. They caught it at that time. They removed it, but the brother is still in deep recovery. Keep the beloved brother in your prayers. For those people that are asking for prayers, you can always send an email. The link is in the description. Do the best that you can. We'll do the best on our part. Let's keep on moving.
Firefighters now racing to protect communities from fires that continue to spread. Massive wildfires continue burning across France and Spain, destroying homes, forcing widespread evacuations, and sending thick smoke across entire communities. Fire crews are battling the flames from both the air and the ground as dangers continues, conditions fueling the fires.
Police come and started screaming in the neighborhood like, you have to get out, you have 20 minutes, evacuate.
350,000 people have evacuated across the two countries, with at least one death reported. Forecasters warn extreme heat and shifting winds.
All that fire, at least one death reported, over 350,000 people evacuated. Oh, whatever. Hey, whatever you people say, because you're the guys that are telling us what's going on. At least I'm not there. I don't see anything. Let's keep on moving. Oops.
This morning, firefighters in Europe racing to contain the massive infernos tearing through Spain and France. The flames apocalyptic, forcing Europe's biggest batch of evacuations since World War II. More than 350,000 people across the two countries.
And this is one of the shelters that's been set up for displaced families. There are hundreds of people here, and there were new evacuation orders.
And then again, they could have sent anyone. They just say, you know what? Daesh is going over there in France and Spain. Let's send this brother over here. He'll look good in the midst. And if there's any blame in there, they'll blame the fellow.
Outside of Madrid, so there's seemingly no end in sight for these families.
The police come and started screaming in the neighborhood like, you have to get out, you have 20 minutes, evacuate.
At least one person has died. Aerial footage showing the extent of the fire as firefighters battle the flames from the sky and on the ground. A drone capturing the wildfire's rapid spread, encroaching upon a highway and forcing first responders to rush away. Near Madrid, a nautical club burned to the ground, leaving nothing but charred husks and ruined buildings.
And here's the thing. This is what, it's poetic justice. It's just too poetic. A nautical club. Is that what that is? Is that what they mentioned? Let's double check again. Let's listen to this.
Spread, encroaching upon a highway and forcing first responders to rush away. Near Madrid, a nautical club burned.
Okay, near Madrid, a nautical club. Okay, a nautical club. A club where they have it's a boat club. Is that what that is? It's a boat club where they talk about water being captured, being underwater, burned to the ground. Unreal. But it is. And this video was reported by Alejandro Quez. Alejandro is Spanish for Alexander. Alex Ender. Or Ale Zender. Alexander is another name for Alex is another name for. Alejandro is another name for. Put it in the comment board. Michael.
To the ground, leaving nothing but charred husks and ruined buildings. And in France, a cloud phenomenon forming called pyrocumulonimbus, known as fire clouds, where a wildfire grows so powerful that its heat and smoke creates its own thunderstorm, often igniting new flames. An equestrian center releasing a pack of horses during evacuations.
Beloved, this is not a good omen at all. Let's count how many horses that just gallop by.
Storm, often igniting new flames.
Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's on the horse right there. 4, 5, 6.
An equestrian center releasing a pack
7, 8
of horses during evacuations.
10.
American Olivia Moore and her
horses.
family temporarily evacuated. American Olivia Moore and an equestrian center releasing a pack of horses during
10 horses. And you know what number 10 stand for? And you know who 10? The number 10. Digital bit rate. Beat number 10. Can't make this up, man. You know. This is not a good omen right there. 10 horses fled.
an equestrian center releasing a...
Maybe you have 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months, barely 10 years.
Pack of horses during evacuations. American Olivia Moore and her family temporarily evacuating from their home in Bruges, just north of Bordeaux, after the smoke started posing a threat to their health.
I think because there's been not just pine trees or trees burning, it's cars, it's houses, it's just this toxic, and I mean, it's almost like there's a mist kind of around it. It was just very, very intense.
And this situation remains unpredictable. You may be able to see some of the spots still smoldering in the distance behind me. And we are feeling the temperatures rising here. The conditions are ripe for these fires to continue spreading. And Joe, that's why officials are hoping they can get ahead of these flames.
Yeah. Well, they can't. This isn't something you can escape, beloved. Okay. If we are still here for next summer, it's going to be worse. You know, people are going to watch 2027 summer and say, I thought 2026 was bad. Let's keep on moving. Okay, this is by... Okay, this is pretty much the same thing over there. This thing has music. Let's take that off. This is in Utah, okay, beloved, all right? This is in Utah. Utah is actually on the opposite side of the world from France and Spain. Old girl can't pull up the map, but Utah is a very great distance from France, yet they are in the same ordeal. You look at the fire here, then again, they always shows, it's a dry brush, so nothing important. Until they show the aftermath. Those are the, for lack of a better term, remains of a building, of a house, and those are debris that is coming from a human-made structure. This is not nature at all. This is not from woods or plants or charcoal or ashes. This is metals. Oh yeah, stuff like that. But why didn't you guys show this in the news? It would have made the urgency a lot more like an emergency. But you folks show, hey, there's so trees. People don't live on trees. Trees are not people. They're not alive. Let them burn. Okay. Look like, I'm not quite sure if it was a pickleball court, but look like this, okay? If you look at in the wing, let me just enlarge this right quick. If you look at in the wing of this plane, I'm assuming you can see PC. What number you see here? PC12NG. What does the number 12 stands for? For those of you who know, put it in the comment board, put it in the chat play. Am I falling asleep? Okay, so this is in Utah, man. Okay, now you see how those folks standing there and they are watching their homes burn down. Okay, they are watching their neighbor's home burn down. This is not a good feeling, man. This is not something that you would wish upon your worst enemy. Maybe some will do, but this is very deeply sad, man. You know, you watch this. Hey, I grew up in this house. My mother and dad, my mother and mom, my mother and my father live in there. You know, they were born in there just like I was. All my memories and all theirs are still in there, but gone. You know, so what are you gonna do? There are quite a few things that you can do. Just, most people will not do them. Okay. Let's keep on moving with the next video. Now this is in China, so we kind of like done with the fire. There are a hell of a lot more fire. We're supposed to take 1 hour to finish this fire. Okay, since we done with the fire, we are moving with the waters, beloved. The floods. This is in China. This is half of Henan flooded. People swept away in the streets as roads turned into rapids. Chongqing time. This was uploaded 2 days ago on July 28th, 2026. This is flood in China. A portion of the wall is burning. The other one is drowning. Which one would you take? Water, fire? I prefer none. I just prefer to be the observer. I'm good where I'm at. Let's just take a little moment, take a little break. Let me drink some water. And you see, this is the thing. That thing, I don't know why it kept doing this. It just kept closing. Every time I open it, it closed by itself. Study to show thyself approved unto the Holy One.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
The Holy Spirit, our Mother herself, is in the midst of our class, teaching, showing, and reasoning with us. Come and study with us. Magic, psychology, technology, economy, art. Download our monthly Word of Power, secret and powerful prayers. Join today as a tier. Student, Gravis, and better yet, Intra Templum. We must not cast our pearls before swine. The link is in the description. Join us today. Great glory! It's 9 p.m. at least where I'm at on a Thursday. This is in Henan, China. Okay, look at the flood. Okay, the water. Okay, the house.
Look at that heavy rain. The road is flooded. Look how deep it is. Everybody just stopped.
So China have excellent infrastructures, probably, and Asian side, they have the #1 besides Japan. China is excellent. So look at this, dude. The water is taking somebody up and they have to drag him out of the water. Okay, this is bad. They try to drag this person. I believe he or she has some form of disability. All right, so you can see this dude in the water still delivering food. That guy that guy still have to deliver the food, man. You know, hey, food delivering in China is a big deal. It's a big business, at least for the business over there. Okay, so again, the waters, it's so heavy the flood stopped the car. We talk about this, beloved. Water is extremely powerful. Whenever you are caught in a water, in a flood, so to speak, like this, do not drive into it. The best things to do, find high ground, like this, man. Don't drive into it like that, man. You know, the engine is not meant for, look at this dude, like, man, look at this. Wow, he driving through the water. At one point, the car might be swept away or stop with you. I think the car, this dude car stopped, you know, and then that's it. And it can become worse. Best thing to do is to just find high ground and stay there, man. You know, either you sleep in your car or you just get out and get inside of one of those buildings, a hotel, stay there until this thing go away. Don't risk it. It's not worth it, man. Some of you saw the video that I uploaded about a year or two ago. I got caught up in something like that with my beloved mother. It was 2 years ago. It happened here in Fort-Lauderdale. Okay, so it happened in April 12th, 2023. The title of the video is The Fort-Lauderdale April 12, 2023 Mighty Flood, Rescuing My Beloved Mother. Okay, it happened 3 years ago, okay? And then I did upload it on May 20th because I didn't want to bring it to the nation, so I had to wait. And Gentiles alive. It was back in April the 12th. Okay, so those were the cars that stopped, all right? There's this car in front of me, and it had people in it. Luckily, I have a giant freaking SUV, and I was going out and go pick her up. Okay, let me put the volume a little bit more. Okay, so my car was very high. Okay, the car was very high, and the water couldn't reach the engine. But guess what? I paid for that. I ended up spending more than $2,500 in the car. The radiator, okay. Car radiator. What? Okay. Car radiator. Oh boy. Vehicle radiator. There we go. So I ended up buying one brand new because what happened is the water that get into this, it was so bad, it rusted and rotten out the coil, foil, or whatever element that thing was made out. I had to get a brand new one, and that wasn't the issue. Water got into the tank. Water got inside the car. I had to do the whole inside. Well, not the whole inside, the bottom. It was bad. It was bad because my car, I love the car, and I didn't want to throw it away. But I would advise my beloved out there not to drive through flood like this, okay? Up until I got to high ground. Damage, and it's still working, but it had water damage. I had to go get a oil change and change everything. Luckily, the engine didn't blow up, but most of the brand new cars, they had extensive damages in them, okay? Yes. So that was part one. See how long we are into this? Yeah, that's part. Okay, so just to let people know, this thing is not something that just happened. It's been going on. We warned the people. We uploaded proof. We told them this is going to get really bad. And when that thing get pretty much worldwide, that's when people will start noticing. People will say, oh, wow, what's going on and stuff like that. It will be too late. Let's keep on moving.
Tonight, punishing summer storms now pummeling tens of millions in the Northeast. Rainfall rates above 1.5 inches per hour in New Jersey. People pushing stalled out cars through floodwaters in Patterson. High water rescues underway in central Pennsylvania. First responders bringing people and their pets to safety. And tonight, we're learning about the power of that twister that tore through the Appleton, Wisconsin area southwest of Green Bay. You see it there, toppling those utility lines. It was an EF3 with winds up to 140 miles per hour, nearly a mile wide. It was on the ground for more than 12 miles. Bob Wolfel's wife, Jean, among the survivors. She was inside this silver truck when the tornado tore through, the twister throwing and flipping it roughly 100 yards.
It brought her and rolled her all the way to this far.
Wow.
It's a miracle through God.
Bob says a stranger smashed this window and pulled her out with only minor cuts and bruises.
Happy she survived.
So we were going to do the tornado next, but since they already threw this in there, we're just going to put a little comment, okay? This is in Wisconsin over there, all right? We have a lot of people over there in Wisconsin. We got a brother live over there. He is part of the nation. We have a beautiful sister that's staying in Wisconsin. But she used to call us all the time in the show. Not quite sure what happened to her. Hopefully this did not affect her. I have another brother that I know. He does hood movies, so to speak, urban film. He lives in Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Is that what that is? Isn't Milwaukee and Wisconsin? Let me double check. Milwaukee. Okay, Milwaukee Tools. City of Milwaukee, established in 1846. It is in Wisconsin. Because sometimes I am confusing Detroit, Michigan, and Wisconsin. I believe they are brothers and sisters state, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes I think Milwaukee and is in Detroit. Excuse me, and Michigan. I would try Detroit. I meant to say Michigan. So this is a tragedy to live in this place and watch your neighborhood, your loved one. This guy said the wife or his sister, I'm not quite sure, barely made it. She's alive, but this isn't something that you would want to go in through, and it's only going to get worse.
So very, very blessed.
Meanwhile, in suburban Chicago, a contractor swept away in an underground storm drain tonight, unaccounted for. Crews now shifting from a rescue to a recovery mission.
Okay, so listen to this, man. A contractor in Chicago got swept away while he was working underground, I'm assuming, in the sewer system. They were trying to rescue him. Now it's a recovery thing. It's gone. Yeah, this is bad, man, but this is judgment. We talk about those things, and there's nothing the church can come and say concerning this. They won't tell the truth, and they can't tell the truth. They're not supposed to. We are the one that are telling the truth. And he did say on the last day, the one that are going to tell the truth are not going to be popular at all. But make no mistake, every single person upon the earth know who they are. They just choose to ignore it and thinking like, if we do ignore it, it will go away. You know, the ostrich thing.
The second contractor, initially trapped, rescued and taken to the hospital.
And with that, Maggie Vespa joins us now live from Wisconsin, and we can see that tornado damage everywhere you look. And the threat from that system that caused the damage is far from over tonight?
Yeah, Tom, that's right. The same system that caused all of this destruction now sparking thunderstorm watches from the mid-Atlantic up through the East Coast, even
Okay, town of Menasha. This name Menasha is it's a little bit familiar. Can you cross-reference in the Bible the book of Jasher, the book of Enoch, or the other Gnostic pseudo-pagrapher book, the name Menasha? I know Manasseh was one of the sons of Jacob, but are there any name close to Menasha, Wisconsin, or Menashe, something like that? Any reference?
The name Manasseh, spelled Menashe in Hebrew, is the standard biblical form of Manasseh. It refers to Joseph's firstborn son and the king of Judah. You'll also find it in the book of Jasher and the apocryphal prayer of Manasseh. Manasseh, Wisconsin, however, comes from a Winnebago word meaning island or thorn, so it's unrelated to the biblical name.
So, all right, okay, yes, thank you. Yeah, the prayer of Manasseh, Manasseh was the firstborn son. Hang on. Manasseh was the firstborn son of Jacob. The thirdborn was Levi, and the second was Simeon. I thought the firstborn was, I forgot his name, Reuben.
You're right. Manasseh wasn't Jacob's firstborn. Reuben was. Manasseh was actually Joseph's son, and he and his brother Ephraim received a double portion of inheritance, which was unusual.
Yeah. All right. I retract that Manasseh was the son of Jacob, was the son of Joseph. And of course, him and his brother, they are from one tribe. And Joseph inherited the land. He had the blessing of the land. Judah have the blessing of the scepter. Levi have the blessing of the priesthood. And Manasseh or Manasseh have the blessing of the land. So as you can see, the land here is being cleansed, is being cleared because of the tornadoes. I was going to get into this at last, but it's over there. So yeah, there's another name of Manasseh. It escaped me, but I'll do a little research and find out what it is. Note to self, find out Manasseh, Wisconsin, what it stands for, the meaning of it, and put it into the PDF.
From the mid-Atlantic up through the East Coast, even a tornado watch, and tens of millions facing that flood threat. Tom?
We thank you for watching. And
all right, beloved, let's keep moving, okay? Again, this is the water, the flood. This is
in the Northeast are under flood alerts. CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano has more.
Torrential rains flooding highways in eastern Pennsylvania, forcing police to block traffic Tuesday. Rushing water also filled.
Why this dude is flying like this, causing issues and accident and problems for everyone?
The streets in Reading, about 50 miles northwest of Philadelphia. First responders rescuing nearly 24 people in northern New Jersey after floodwaters rose to the height of car tires. The storm also delivering powerful winds, sending trees crashing onto homes.
Literally, we thought it was a hurricane, and all of a sudden, the whole tree just came down.
In Washington.
That is because that's what it is. That's what it is. Hurricane, beloved, typhoon, or cyclones are the same thing. It's just where it happened, because it doesn't happen down there in Florida by the beach or the sea. We don't call it hurricane. We say, oh, there's a storm. A hurricane, a typhoon, a cyclone, they're all storms. They all freaking the same thing. Oh, it's a monsoon. No, that thing was a freaking hurricane. The name hurricane is much more frightening than storm. When people say a storm is coming, you're like, it's a regular thing. But when they say a hurricane is coming, you gotta head to the store, fill up your gas, fill up your tank and stuff, get food in there, because you know when that hit, it's gonna take a while for the power to come back, and food and stuff like that, the gas. At least if you live in Florida, you experience this type of thing. I experienced multiple hurricanes in Florida, But the issue is this thing that happened in those places like the Northeast, they are freaking hurricane. But they don't say that, but it is.
In D.C., wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour took down large tree limbs, blocking roads there, and tipped over this gas station canopy. The severe weather stretching up and down the East Coast. 2,000 flight cancellations at major airports, including Newark and Boston. It's the same system that brought a devastating tornado with winds peaking near 140 miles an hour in Manasseh, Wisconsin, just outside Green Bay. Jason Allen saw the violent aftermath firsthand.
In a storm like this, people would go down to their basements to take shelter, but this tornado was so strong, it moved houses. Not even a basement was a safe place to be.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oof.
I don't know how. I mean, I look at how far this house dropped.
Carla Williamson was trapped in her basement while the twister destroyed part of her house Monday, collapsing around her.
You could just hear things breaking, and it felt and sounded like the top floor hit the first floor, which came down on top of me.
Just a devastating EF3 tornado, end of July.
EF3 at the end of July. And down there in Florida, we still are in hurricane season until December. Is that what that is? Let me double check. When does hurricane season begins and ends in Florida?
Hurricane season in Florida officially runs from June 1st to November 30th.
Oh, yeah.
The peak is usually August through October.
There you go. We're about to hit August in 2 more days now. This thing is the November 30th, which is December 1st. That's the hurricane season. So, Big Levi gonna be in battle. I don't know if hurricane will hit or not. One thing remains, and I'm under the Holy One protection. The Holy Mother will watch over me. I love that woman, and she loves me too. She'll provide. Let's keep on moving.
Such a rare event. This is a pretty unusual event, too, to have this kind of low pressure kind of spinning its way here across the Northeast. We've got flash flood warnings this morning from New Haven back through Fairfield, up through Albany, Saratoga as well. Heavy rain falling in this area, and this green area is under a flash flood watch through the rest of today and through tonight. That red area is where we think we'll probably see more in the way of flash flooding. So we're getting now up by 87, I-90, I-91 through I-90, the Mass Pike throughout the day today. At risk for seeing some flash flooding. So this is a huge area that has highly intense population. And
okay, let's keep on moving, beloved. Let's take more of the flood. I think this is in New York. All right, flash floods reduce 300-year-old landmark to rubble and dramatic collapse. Yes, it was in New York. A historic 300-year-old grits mill in New York's Hudson Valley collapsed after heavy rainfall triggered flash flooding on July 29th. Okay, video captured by Andrew Klein shows the structure falling into rushing flood waters along Moitzigskill Road and Castleton on Hudson. The mill, which dates back to the 1640s, operated as a grit mill until the mid-1900s, as was later used for an artist studio. 1600, 1619, 2019, 1640s, 2040s. I don't think we have 2040s. Another 14 years from now? Is that what that is? Hey, you tell me, man. Alright, let me enlarge this. Okay, so alright, look at this. So the land is indeed being cleansed. This is in New York. This is bad. Ooh. Oh man, you can see the spot. Like if you get into this water, yeah, look at the irony. They got the American flag right there. If the electrical cord drop into this and you are in the water, that's a hard goodbye right there, man. That's bad. Unbelievable. This was reported July 29th, okay? At least a day from me, 2 days from you guys. Those are not videos that came out years ago. Okay, this is in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. This is bad, man. Look at this. This is in Hawthorne, New Jersey. You can see the gushing waters. Watch this. Okay, those are the typical small town USA with a very specific group of people in there. And yeah, look at this. Got a Buddha statue here, nice. Okay, people are being, look at the cars underground, underwater, and people are being rescued. People on the first floor. And the thing is, when things like that happen in most places, those folks that are in the first floor can't go to the second floor or third and say, neighbor, my apartment is flooded. Can I stay with you for tonight? Or can we take shelter in the first floor? Well, not even inside people's house. Or they can just climb up and stay there or bring some of the stuff. For instance, if you stay in the first floor and the water start to rise, you know that, hey, it's going to get inside. You take some of the valuables, a blanket or futon or things, you go to the third or fourth floor and stay in the hallway. That could cause a lot of problem, you know. The landlord, like, okay, we didn't rent you the hallway and stuff. You know, lawyers can get involved. If the person slip, fall, things can happen, stuff. You know, the hospitality is not what we think it is. Those people shouldn't be in this thing at all. They should not have, the neighbor should not say, hey, neighbor, come up, man. Bring the kids, bring the stuff, bring the important things, man. When the water come down, we'll assess them damage. But the life, man, we cannot lose one. As you can see right there, they are on this yellow raft. They couldn't get anywhere. And this building is at least 3-story high. Okay. Sure. There we go. Right here. Let's see. Oh. You know, at least this thing is two-story high. You know, they can't go on the second floor. Whatever will live above them, they're like, y'all ain't coming up there. We've been beefing or something happened, or I'm not here, I'm not home, or whatever. Okay, so they rescue a kid and his mom, I'm assuming. A couple kids. It shouldn't be like this, but it is. She's still on her phone.
Oh, never mind. That's just in the back over here. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oof. So they gave everybody a credit check the day off, huh?
This is Empire Trail, City of Hudson Trailhead. Catching hell out there, man. Things are tough, man.
Overnight, a search underway in New Jersey for a 10-year-old girl missing in the Passaic River, hours after flooding rains across the region. The girl was among 3 children who went into the fast-moving river. Another girl made it out alive, but her 10-year-old brother was found dead. Officials say he apparently died trying to save his sister's life.
As he was going under, he pushed her, and she ended up by the rocks, and she climbed out.
Heavy rain and flooding slamming more of the Northeast. Streets turning into rivers in Albany, New York. Cars submerged. Crews using inflatable rafts to rescue trapped drivers. In New York's Hudson Valley, neighborhoods swamped. Floodwaters demolishing this 300-year-old historic building. And in Massachusetts, Worcester breaking a daily rainfall record. The extreme conditions stretching from coast to coast. In California, powerful Pacific swells continue to churn up dangerous rip currents and waves topping 10 feet. And now we're hearing from the rookie lifeguard who helped save this 10-year-old boy during that heart-stopping rescue in Santa Cruz. 16-year-old Ryder Williams says, I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to return the child to his family safely. This is my job, and I love what I do.
I think he probably, from what I got.
Okay, as you can see, beloved, the ages of those children are at least 10. A 10-year-old boy being drowned. In the good book, there is stories where the Pharaoh ordered all the firstborn of the Hebrew men to be thrown in the water to the crocodile, mainly to drown them and kill them, because he was afraid that the Hebrews will join forces unto his enemy and take him down. We explained this before. The Pharaoh that did this was not the original Pharaoh. They were not the original people of Egypt. Those are a group of people that come later, that indeed came later, because they were the true Hamites. The Phoenician Pharaoh that were there, we were living with them like brothers and sisters, because we are brothers and sisters. They are Shemites, from the line of Shem or Enoch. We didn't have any issue with them. We were living with them there for hundreds of years. Joseph, they were the one that elected Joseph to be the king because he was wiser than them when he had the dream of the 7 skinny cow and 7 fat cow and the 7 chaff and 7 wheat, so to speak. And after this, that dynasty was thrown off, after hundreds of years we were ruling Egypt, Joseph was a Pharaoh, and his children, all the brothers, they became Pharaoh. Judah became a Pharaoh. Remember, they came back in Egypt to live there, but the wisdom, all of them ruled over there, and their children stay over there up until they got into a war with the Hamites. And the Hamites at that time, not all the Hamites were our enemies. If you read the book of Abraham and the book of Mormon, there were Hamites, women and men, that were following our custom, and they were put to death for not worshiping idol. And they came back home. They told them, why you don't want to worship? They say, no, I'm worship has nothing to do to pray to. It means to commune, to learn from. When you say I'm worshiping God, I'm communing with God. I'm learning from Him. He's teaching me. I'm getting wisdom from her, so to speak. It had nothing. Christian are the one that go with the worship. They got the Sunday worship and sitting there. Jesus. It was nothing, man. When you say I'm worshiping with the brother, I'm studying with the brother. I'm worshiping with the sister. It was a way of talking, communicating, and transferring wisdom. The word prayer, it's talking, is communication. It's a mental communication, what we're calling telepathy, so to speak. So when those Hamites came in, they took over the land, and they didn't know who the Hebrews were. They were numerous. Of course, when Sesostris, the Phoenician, come to visit, he inquire of the Hebrews. So who all those peoples? Even Moses, Moses didn't like the Hebrews. He's like, oh, those are Hebrews. Don't worry about them. Lesser being. They're not like us. Moses believed that he was a Phoenician Egyptian. And that's why the Moses' mother, at least not Hamram's wife, the princess, was a Phoenician. But the father was a Hamite. Moses' mother, the one that he was raised believing that to be the mother, the Egyptian, was not a Hamite woman. She was a Shemite Phoenician. She raised Moses right, but she married the man, which was a Hamite king, in other words, a Pharaoh, which ordered the Hebrew boys to be drowned in the lake, the Nile, so they won't rise against him. Of course, and now you can see there is a lot of drowning going on. We just had a video last week. 5 people were drowned, and now a boy got drowned, and people are drowning. You can see there's a parallel, and when it comes to stories and things like that, there is a cross reference. The boys being 10 and that other boy being 10, we know the number 10 stand for the Holy One. Michael is indeed in the midst. All those things are here. But the issue is most people cannot see them and don't want to. When they happen, they don't care. You know, with this man name is Summit Rai or Ra, sun god, Summit, which is apex, the zenith to the top of the mountain, Mount Sinai. All those things connected to Moses. The name Moses, I believe, means save from the waters or from the waters. And there's a lot. Let me double check to make sure if I need to retract that. Because my memory is, sometimes it slipped me. What does the name Moses mean?
Moses comes from Hebrew, and the name means drawn out or drawn forth.
Anyway, that's not what that is. It means from the waters, save from the waters. Because when the princess was bathing there and the little Moses was in the little the rafting thing basket, and his sister Miriam or Mariam, say princess because Miriam and the princess, they were good friends because they were Phoenicians. They were our beloved brothers and sisters they were cousins of ours. We didn't have any issue with them. Even the Hamites, we never had any real issue with the Hamites. We had issue with the Philippine, I retract Philippine, the Philippine, not Philippine, I retract that. Oh boy, I'm dead asleep. What's the name again? Philistine. That's what I meant to say. I retract everything else. The Philistine, not even the Philistine, but the Philistine government, the Philistine the church and priests and stuff. We had issue with them. And they did a lot. Even the reason why the Philistines act like this, they were emboldened by Saul. They were afraid of us. They didn't want nothing to do with us. Nobody wanted nothing to do with us because they knew who we are. They didn't know how to defeat us until Saul went out there and tell everyone how to defeat us. It said the best way to defeat them is to make them like you. Make them think like they are human too. Make them indulge in your stuff, and here's how you take away their magic. And so Saul was the one who initiated the first. Saul was the one who initiated the first Inquisition. When you study all the books, those books are in Latin though. It's the translation. So all those things, when you're watching them, you study them, you can see the connection, and it's all fulfilling prophecy. Let's keep on moving.
Gathered, he assumed he was going to die. He was drowning. He knew he was drowning. He could not express sufficient gratitude. There's nothing more valuable to me than my children.
Elsewhere in California, a dramatic rescue on the Kern River after a woman was swept downstream by the fast-moving current.
Ground troops have a visual on the patient.
The woman clinging to a rock before firefighters were able to throw her a flotation device and rope, pulling her to safety.
As for Ryder Williams, President Trump plans to invite him to the White House to receive a high civilian honor.
That kid going to milk this thing, man. That kid man, I save people, I can use this and get a better job. So let me see. Shocking moment, houses collapse into flood waters in Vietnam. Oh, there's one in Vietnam? I don't think I have Vietnam in here. Good grief, there's a flooding in Vietnam. Wow. Okay, let's see what's going on in Vietnam. How long we are into this before I get into this? You know what, before we go in Vietnam, let's do this. Study to show thyself approved unto the Holy One.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
The Holy Spirit, our Mother herself, is in the midst of our class, teaching, showing, and reasoning with us. Come and study with us. Magic, psychology, technology, economy, art. Download our monthly Word of Power, secret and powerful prayers. Join today as a tier. Student. Gravis. And better yet, Intra Templum. We must not cast our pearls before swine. The link is in the description. Join us today. great glory. All right, study to show that self-approved. Do the best that you can. Let's go to Vietnam. Oh, wow. All right, the house collapsed into the river. This is in Vietnam. They have a flooding in Vietnam too. I was not aware of that. This is crazy.
County. You can see this structure behind us now submerged in the floodwaters. It's nearly 300 years old, and today the force of the water just ripped it from the ground.
Yeah, the damage there is devastating. News 10's Peyton Cavanaugh joining us now live. It looks like you have a river behind you, Peyton.
Yeah, Lydia and John, certainly looks like a river, but what's behind me here is actually the Mitch's Kill. You can see it's completely demolished. This building behind me here, 300-year-old mill. It's really just history being washed away here. And you can see behind as well, the owner of that mill, his home is back there. That is flooded as well. We've been talking about this damage all day. It was unpredictable but immense, and particularly here in Rensselaer County all day, that has been the case. And it started with what we saw out on Sagendorf Road this morning.
We had a report, second or third hand, that a FedEx vehicle was washed into the stream when they were driving through the high water. The road was closed. We've had drones and swift water teams here from several different agencies, and we couldn't find anything.
Thankfully, that call was a false alarm. And
Jeff Wright, and you see the number on the truck, the firefighter truck or fire engine truck. The number 1, 2, and number 12 is for the 12 tribes. And we talk about the color red. Mars and destruction and judgment is in the mist, man. It's everywhere.
the driver is safe, but it certainly was not the only call. Jay Wilson, emergency manager for the county, said that calls started coming in as early as 6:30 this morning and haven't stopped. From flooded basements to trees and power lines down and roadways washed out, they are working tirelessly to respond.
We're getting and you see number 45 here. 4 + 5 = what? And what does that mean? Put it in the comment board.
A lot of calls in Rensselaer County for flooding in homes. If you have a couple inches of water and it's not near anything like receptacles or your electrical panel, please bear with us. We want to know about them, but understand that we might be prioritizing calls in the county that we go to a house that's really flooded really bad, like almost up to the rafters. So please understand that we're going to have to prioritize the calls, and we'll get to you, but it might take us a little while.
From Schodack to Castleton, East Greenbush, and more, Rensselaer County is in a state of emergency. Officials are urging everyone in the area not to travel unless absolutely necessary, and if you do come across a closed road or even one that's not yet closed but has high water levels, as always, turn around, don't drown.
It's not raging like this usually. It's just the tides of the river. But it's pretty crazy, but if you're prepared, watch out for your neighbors.
Well, Castleton on the Hudson has also declared a state of emergency. They say they're concerned about Main Street there, where we have seen a lot of flooding today. They're concerned that it could get even higher, causing residents to have to evacuate. They're saying if residents are able to evacuate to higher ground now rather than later, that would certainly be preferable. As well as when you're seeing these roadways, whether you're in Rensselaer County or any other area of our region, you can see behind me, just like this one, you don't know what's underneath that water, whether it's moving, when it's still, especially at night. So make sure to exercise caution. turn around, don't drown, make sure to prioritize your safety, and stay with News 10 as we continue to monitor the latest of these storm damages. You can certainly find out more on air and online. But for now.
So, it's not getting any better. It's just getting worse. Let's get involved with the not volcanoes, with the tornadoes. Oh, yeah, this is Dabu 7, okay? Dabu 7 is leading.
Well, I can hear the chopper in the distance, and I don't have.
Dabu 7 is literally losing his mind because there is a helicopter that keep coming. There's a helicopter that keep coming at him and buzz him, man. Like, yo, they after my man Dabu, man. You know, the government don't like what he's saying. You know, they're buzzing him. And this is what happened, beloved. When you leave the city, you isolated yourself somewhere, hiding from some threat or whatever. And, you know, you live off grid, barely have any friend. You don't communicate with people. You don't socialize. You don't go out because everything is out there to get you. And then that freaking helicopter, you know, doing a survey or whatever they are doing over there. You know, this actually, hey man, Dabu like, yo, this nigga's trying to get me, son. You know?
Well, I can hear the chopper in the distance, and I don't have any on-flight radar. Sounds like it's about to come right over top of me. Oh boy. And he is. Slow. And directly over top of the house. Glass bottom. I see something, yeah, that's police. Low and slow, right over top of me. I mean, directly over top of me. Again, I just showed you. There was nothing on flight radar. And this just keeps happening.
All right, man. Hey, day after my man Dabu 7 here. This video was uploaded. He been uploading them for a while now. July 29th. He keep uploading. Let me double check his channel to see this. 4 hours ago, and they came back. What are they up to? Low flying Mr. Helicopter buzzing me. You know, they're buzzing Dabu, man. You know, they've been there for some time. They put them in there. They've been doing this for weeks. But they're after Dabu. I don't know what they want. I don't know what they want from Dabu, man, but they're after him. How long we are into? Good grief. It's already 2 hours into this thing, man. All right, let's keep on moving. I don't think I have time to do the earthquake, the Japanese earthquake that happened over there in Japan. Let's keep on moving. I think we went to Menasha, right? That's enough.
Wayne Volkman has lived in this house in Menasha for 30 years. He and his family are among so many displaced after a horrifying storm ripped through their neighborhood. I'm your Fox Cities neighborhood reporter, Kyle Angelier, on the ground, talking to people who are cleaning up what's been left behind.
Cars flipped and crushed, roofs torn from homes, roads blocked by trees, and power lines twisted together.
And the really strange part goes.
After the violent storm cleared, Ken Anderson returned home.
This used to be the master bedroom. Roof's gone, windows are gone, and the air conditioner still sits in the window.
His house on 3rd Street, barely recognizable. We walked through the damage done inside.
The front door is blown out, the window is blown out, that window is out.
The wreckage stretching street after street.
All of our house is destroyed. It's flooding my whole house because it's coming from my room all the way downstairs. It's flooding our whole house. Probably gonna have to move or find a new house.
Jaden can't stay in his home, along with many other families, leaning on family and friends for a place to stay. Up the street, Manderfield's bakery is nearly leveled, and Plank Road Pub's 2nd story is torn open.
Stuff I see on TV where it happens to other people, and it happened to us. And yeah, I was in awe, amazement that Mother Nature can do this kind of damage to us.
Manderfield says his 90-year-old
90 years old, 9-0. Number 9, destruction for them, protection for us.
The mother lost her home in the storm and says they and Menasha face a long road of cleanup.
840, 8 plus 4 plus 0. You already know what to do. You know what that equal. Put it on the comment board.
And recovery in Menasha. Kyle Langelier, NBC 26.
Boy, that is that's a mouthful right there, man. Let's keep on moving.
Emotional, mental, and spiritual recovery from these devastating Fox Valley tornadoes took a step forward yesterday for many.
Yeah, many gathered for a prayer service at Faith Lutheran Church in Appleton. Local 5's Paul Stino has more.
Processing pain through prayer.
He said, whenever 2 or 3 of you are gathered in my name.
And just be where we can be around comfort, love, support.
Okay, all right. Here's the thing, Mr. Evan Loeb. You know, you need to ask those pastors. Okay, well, yeah, what happened to the rapture, man? I mean, yeah, I pay you guys. I give you 10 for my age, the tie, but I'm still not being raptured. It feels like I'm the one that being left behind here. Where is the rapture? I need my mother loving money back, man. So. And those pastors will say, hey, man, hey, Negro, no refund, son. What's up with you? You want to start me up? You want to get fresh with me? That's right. Walk away, dog. You gave that hash for us to take down the one from the Holy One. We did. You guys are happy. You celebrate your party. Now, the needle drop. Party is over. The hell out, man.
Walk our stories like I'm doing right now.
Evan Labby knows he's luckier than most. He escaped Monday's tornado with minimal property damage. 48 hours later, though, he says he's still processing the panicked moments of riding out the twister in his Appleton basement and also coming to grips with what the storm did to others in his community.
And then to just walk outside probably about 10-15 minutes later, and I knew I was in shock. I've never been in shock before, but I could clearly tell I was entering shock.
Labby, among dozens.
And then when you look at those people in the church, man, I mean, look at them, man. Look. Folks look defeated. They are defeated. I mean, what else they're going to do? Spread the gospel worldwide? Like going to Africa and go spread the gospel for the first time? Like another clown the other day said, well, the reason why you white men come into Africa to spread the gospel to us, it is because in the future, like right now, we're going to come in America to spread the gospel to you because you forget your God. The reason that you did this, so we can remember it for you. Yeah. You will spread the gospel to those people right there that sit in this church. His fellow, well, the silver course folks. Is that what that is? Is that what people think this thing is going to be? Look, man, your sound is done. The mixtape is played out. It's redundant right now. People are discussed. They need something good, something new. They need the truth. And here upon this channel, they have found it.
Dozens of folks who attended a prayer service on Wednesday night at Faith Lutheran Church in Appleton.
I mean, look at that. A church like this was supposed to be full, with people, fill up to the brim after something like that. But most of the victim won't come here, man, because they already know what you guys are up to, man. Like I mentioned before, anybody that willingly take a child to church and give it to your pastor, the priest, this is child abuse, man. You know that what those guys do to children. Don't be coming in after and say, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's what they do. The Catholic Church is well known to do this type of things to little ones.
A chance to show all those impacted by the storm that it is okay to grieve and that they are not alone.
So we just want to give
people...
No,
it's not okay. You never told our people it's okay to grieve. Tell them, hey man, shut the hell up, pull yourself by the bootstrap, go back to work, get back to work, get a job. Why are you being so weak? Grief? You think you're the only one that grieve? I lost my mom. I lost my dad, yes. Yet, look at me. I'm happy because I know God got me. But one thing you never told them that you lost your mom, you lost your dad. They left you a huge inheritance. In fact, you didn't lose them at all. In fact, you lose a heavy object like an anvil that slipped out of your hand, accidentally fell on top of their head, and then you kind of like lost them. When you are telling our beloved to not grieve, your house were paid, no tornadoes knock it down. We're having the time of your life, and now look at you.
The space to be together, the space to sort of grieve whatever they've lost, to just be a community together in one space.
The church also offering resources to help families cope with trauma and opportunities for one-on-one prayer for those who need it. Comfort Dog, Samaria, and Hager also in the building offering support.
Comfort Dog? This is how their church went so low. The job of a pastor was the word or the name pastor. You know what? Let me just get, oops. What is the etymology of the word pastor, and what does the name, well, at least what does the word pastor means? The origin of it.
Pastor comes from the Latin word pastor, meaning shepherd. It traces back to the verb pascere, to lead to pasture or to feed, from the Proto-Indo-European root pa, which means to feed, tend, guard, or protect. The literal sense of one who cares for a flock entered English in the late 1300s from Old French. The figurative meaning of a spiritual guide or shepherd of souls was already in Church Latin, like in Pope Gregory's Cura Pastoralis.
A pastor supposed to mean you're a shepherd. You're supposed to lead your people to the pasture, to feed them, to protect them, to provide for them. Not to give them a damn dog. A pastor, you're supposed to pray for your people, not pray on them. A pastor, you are the wise. You are the first person, a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, supposed to call when they're having some form of disagreement. You should be the one that people need to reach out when they have certain issue they are dealing with. They call you for advice. And when they do that, you don't say, well, I got a poplar right here. I got a fine bitch here. Her name is Samantha. You can come over there and then, cuddle her and stuff like that. She's vaccinated. As a pastor, your job is supposed to not being there talking about spiritual stuff 24/7. Spiritual stuff is barely 1% of your job as a pastor, because the whole spiritual things depend on the person. You're never supposed to go to a pastor to get spiritual guide. That's not what that is. You're supposed to do the best that you can do on your own. Yeah, you can ask a brother, a sister, or a pastor, so to speak, a little explanation on this and that. Eventually, he's not the one that always supposed to lead you to water, to the pasture and stuff. If he showed you this once, you should know the way, the road, the path to go get that green pasture. Seems those pastors out there, all they do is taking away from their flock. All they do is sucking them from their sheep, from their people that they're supposed to protect. But what do I know, right?
The canines were also at the Christ the Rock Community Church in Menasha earlier on Wednesday, comforting tornado victims who are staying there. Spiritual and emotional healing for a community that has been through a lot.
That we are a community. We will pull together. We will get through this.
In Appleton, Paul Stino, Local 5 News.
At least that's what, that's what you tell yourself to sleep at night. Things are tough out there, beloved. Caution yourself. It's going to be 10 o'clock. I think I can take one more video, can I? Oh, boy. I don't think I can. I have to leave at 10 p.m. sharp. But, brethren, sistren, we're going to stop right here. Beloved, be safe. The 4 element is in the midst. The 4 element is cleansing the earth worldwide. Do the best that you can do. Get a micro pentacle if you can get one. Contact me if you have any other question. The email, the link is in the description, and we'll do the best that we can do. I will leave you with peace. I will leave you with love. I'm leaving you with peace. I'm leaving you with love. And I say shalom. Study to show thyself approved unto the Holy One.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
The Holy Spirit, our Mother herself, is in the midst of our class, teaching, showing, and reasoning with us. Come and study with us. Magic, psychology, technology, economy, art. Download our monthly Word of Power, secret and powerful prayers. Join today as a tier, student, gravis, and better yet, intra templum. We must not cast our pearls before swine. The link is in the description. Join us today. Great glory!